In the Atmosphere Lab, the first thing you're asked to do is to create a graph or chart from the data found in the Atmospheric Data Google Sheet. To do that, step 1 says to highlight the data in the pink box, including the headings. So here, I'll come to this Google Sheet, and I'm going to click in the temperature box, and then highlight by clicking and dragging down to the bottom corner. Some people feel that they need to start way in the corner to highlight that. And what that does is it winds up highlighting different cells. Just click right in the middle of the cell and then drag. If you're already in that cell, sometimes if you try and drag, it might move. If you grab the wrong thing, it might move the words. So a quick way to prevent that from happening is just click off to the side and then click and drag to highlight your data. You can also click in that cell and then hold the Shift key down and use the arrows on your keyboard to highlight the data. Once that data is highlighted, step 2 says to choose Chart under the Insert menu. So the menu items, File, Edit, View. Under Insert, there's a chart. So we'll go to Insert, Chart, and the computer will automatically make the graph for you. This is great news. This way you don't have to get out graph paper and draw lines and plot the points. It's already plotted for you. Step 3, if you double click your graph or click the 3 dots in the top right of the graph, the chart editor opens up. So when I click, usually when it makes the chart editor automatically opens up over here in the top right. If that's not the case, if you click the chart or graph, there's 3 dots up here and you can click Edit Chart, or you can just double click and that will open up the chart editor. You'll notice there are 2 tabs. There's the Setup tab and the Customize tab. Setup tab and Customize tab. Step 3 says under the Customize tab, there is a grid lines section. So this lets us change the grid lines. And the reason we want to change the grid lines is it's hard to read the numbers. I know this is 0 and that's 50. It's difficult for me to see any information in between 0 and 50. So I'm going to add some more lines to the x-axis or horizontal axis. I'm going to add some more lines to the vertical axis. And to do that, I go to the Customize tab, and notice there's a section down at the bottom that says Grid Lines and Ticks. When I click on that, it gives me some options. For the vertical axis, change the major step to 5. So I, under grid lines, have an option to either work on the horizontal axis or the vertical axis. And for the vertical axis, I want the step, meaning what I want the lines to count by is 5. And when I do that, notice that it takes the graph, and it's a little bit easier now to see some details as to where these changes take place in the temperature. We also are going to change our horizontal axis, that's the X or bottom axis, to have the step be 10. Now it's a little bit easier to read the chart. You can also at this time take the chart and resize it. There are other elements that you could edit as well. So if I go to the chart editor, I can change the color of the line. I can decide whether I can see the points and where they are. And that's up to you if you'd like to change some of that around. And then finally, the last step is to copy and paste the graph into this lab. So you're going to paste the graph or chart right here. In order to do that, we click the graph. There are 3 dots in the top right. I click the 3 dots and there's a section called Copy Chart. Once I've copied the chart, I can now right mouse click paste, or I could also hit Control V. Both of those will paste the chart there. Google Docs is going to give you an option to either link to the spreadsheet or paste unlinked. It defaults link to the spreadsheet, and that's what you want to do, because this way, after it pastes the chart, any changes you make, so if you come back here and you make some changes to this chart, it will automatically update when you come here. If you click on the graph, you'll see there's a button that says update. And when you hit update, it automatically updates your chart or graph for you. You can then resize the chart to how you wish. That's how you make your temperature chart. It's the same way for the air pressure and the water vapor charts as well.